We now move over to The Hague, and Gambia's Justice Minister has told the International Court of Justice that Myanmar deliberately targeted the Rohingya minority with horrific violence in a bid to destroy the community. The hearing in The Hague marks the start of Gambia's case, which accuses Myanmar of violating the 1948 Genocide Convention during a military crackdown in 2017. Let's take a listen in.
We did not bring this case lightly. We brought this case after reviewing credible reports of the most brutal and vicious violations imaginable inflicted upon a vulnerable group that had been dehumanized and persecuted for many years.
When the court considers, as it must, all of the evidence taken together, the only reasonable conclusion to reach is that a genocidal intent permeated and informed Myanmar's myriad of state-led actions against the Rohingya.
The case seeks to hold Myanmar accountable for alleged systemic killings, sexual violence and forced displacement against the Rohingya population. The proceedings are closely watched by human rights groups and the international community, highlighting ongoing concerns about justice for victims of the 2017 crackdown. Joining us now is Dr. Rajan Kochar. He's a senior strategic and international affairs expert. He joins us live from New Delhi. Some pretty compelling visuals there coming out of The Hague. The first genocide case that we've seen in over a decade now going down there. However, do you think the International Criminal Court can really hold Myanmar accountable if, of course, it is found guilty of genocide?
Thank you, Thomas. International Criminal Court of Justice, I don't think has a jurisdiction even to do any kind of enforcement. We have seen in the case of Israel also, and when South Africa went to the International Court of Justice, and all those cases of genocide and brutal killings of the Palestinians were brought out. I don't think even today, in spite of the strictures passed by the International Criminal Court of Justice, I don't think anything has happened. So I think this organization is without any teeth. Whatever judgment it may give today cannot be enforced tomorrow. So let's take that with a pinch of salt right now. Now come to the real issue, because it's important to understand the identity of Rohingyas in Myanmar, because basically they're Bengalis and illegal immigrants who have entered Myanmar. Over a period of time, even India also faces a similar situation of these Rohingya refugees coming inside India. Now India has a problem in sending them back because Bangladesh is not prepared to accept. The same problem is there with the Rohingyas in Myanmar, because once they have come inside, Bangladesh is not prepared to accept them, because after all, they are citizens of Bangladesh. So Myanmar, 1982, they had a citizen law which basically Rohingyas were stripped of all their political rights, legal protection, freedom of movement, access to education, healthcare. Now this is a humanitarian issue, and this has to be looked at not from anti-terrorism, because Rohingyas were not doing any terrorism. They have been branded like that as an anti-terrorism kind of a group, which is highly, I think, unjust, because they have got nothing to do with terrorism. It is basically they're outsiders, and the people of the country want them out. So they will, if they can't, if that country of origin is not accepting them, then few opportunities are available for them. They will also resort to this kind of a thing, which is happening in Myanmar the documentary evidence is also there to prove it. But then, who will give justice to these people? You see, the point is that they have been thrown out by their country of origin, and this country is not willing to accept them. Then what happens to them? What happens to their identity? What happens to their well-being? What happens to their education? What happens to their welfare? So these are larger issues. I think the world has to look into it. And if the United Nations cannot do anything, I think it's a very, very sad plight today where the United Nations is moving. And as an independent analyst, if I don't take sides of anybody, I think I can say with conviction that possibly Rohingyas need to be heard. They need to be actually given their rightful place wherever they have to go. They must live in an environment of peace, tranquility, and security.
Yes. Dr. Kochhar, thank you very much for joining us. Unfortunately, due to timing, we have ran out of it. And thank you very much for taking the time. We now move on, and US President Donald Trump is all set to interview